love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right? That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Uh-oh, Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the out of me. Wow, dude. It was a G.I. Jane joke. I'm going to, okay? Okay.
Hello, my explorers. Welcome again to Rowena Explorez. And today I'm going to be talking about the Oscars and what happened there on Sunday. Yes, I was so surprised on Will's action. When he walked up to Chris Rock, I wasn't sure what he was going to do. But boy, when that slap connected, in Jamaican slang, we don't call that slap, we say a box. Him get a box. Yes, and a UPS box or Amazon box. Him get a big one, you know, like when the fridge them come in, huh? Yes, I wanted that him get. And Chris Rock just take it like a man. He was just shaking it off and laughing. But with all fun and joke aside, how could he let his emotion, not Chris Rock, Will Smith. How did he get his emotion get over him like that? To walk upon that stage, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Is this going to be a fun thing? Did they plan it? Was it scripted so as to promote something? Boy, oh boy, I don't know. This is gonna tarnish his reputation. He acted in defense of his wife, which is admirable of him, but he should have think about what his action. This is a stage that everyone watches. This is a stage where the prominent, or you would say the elites, or people who would make his career go further or make his career could go under, is watching. He disrespected everyone there. I understand that Chris Rock was making a joke, and not a joke that Will Smith or Jada likes, because based on Jada's reaction, she wasn't having it, because from what I heard, she suffered from alopecia, and alopecia is not a good thing for a woman who loves their hair. With alopecia, it's embarrassing. It could be your self-esteem goes down when you have that kind of disease. And it's nothing to be ashamed of, but we as women who value our looks and value our hair, it can become something devastating, and we hide it or we disguise it by wearing wigs, or sometimes we just cut the hair off, But I can see how Jada's reaction was when she heard what Chris Rock said. But I believe that Will Smith took it too far. He could have gone up there and just talked to Chris, but he decided not to. He used violence. He gave the man one rotted box. One right hand, and get one right hand. And Chris just shake it off and laugh it off. Boy, he knows how Chris Rock is. Chris Rock is a comedian. Chris Rock is a person who don't give no trouble. If I hear nothing with Chris Rock, really. And for Will to go up there and react like that, it's not acceptable. It was not acceptable. And then he put out an apology. After what? After he calmed down? Or after somebody spoke with him and tell him, oh, you shouldn't have done that. You better why did he apologize? Do not call my wife's name in your effing mouth. Jada Pinkett Smith. Does he have something against Chris Rock? Did Chris Rock do something did Chris Rock do something to him or to Jada? I remember Chris Rock made a statement some time ago in some I forget the name of the other award ceremony where he hosted a show, and he made a joke about Jada as well. So probably the animosity is coming from there. Probably something that's been carrying. Oh boy, I don't know how this is gonna go. They have heard allegedly that Chris Rock is not gonna press charges, but who knows when that slap wears off tomorrow? When he find that fingerprint all over his cheeks, how would he react then? Will he change his mind? I don't know. But this is not acceptable. Not violence in any shape or form. Not acceptable. And Willsmith could have dealt with it another way. He could have. Embarrassing. This is going to be the talk for a long time. Every Oscar was to come. When Will Smith slaps... Oh, excuse me. No. When Will Smith boxes Chris Rock. You remember? You remember that time there? Mm-hmm. Yes, we remember that clear. Yes. I was watching the show and Chris Rock get a ratted box. Oh boy. Anyway, here is what he says. Here is what Will Smith said when he apologized on Sunday. Here is his apology via social media.
The 28th of March, Nearly 24 hours after the Academy Awards in which Will Smith slapped comedian Chris Rock, the actor and musician issued an apology via social media. Smith wrote on Instagram, "Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and inexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear and I reacted emotionally," Smith wrote. "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line and I was wrong. I am embarrassed and my actions were not indicative of the man I want to be. There is no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." He continued, "I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees and everyone watching around the world. I would like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress." This marks the first apology to Rock from Smith after Smith, who won the Oscar for Best Actor for his role in the tennis movie King Richard, apologized to the Academy and his fellow nominees in his acceptance speech. As American Songwriter reported yesterday, Smith approached Rock on stage after the comedian made a joke about Smith's wife, actress Jada Pinkett Smith, about her shaved head. Pinkett Smith reportedly suffers from alopecia, a condition that causes hair loss. Acceptance speech, Smith said, "I want to apologize to the Academy. I want to apologize to all my fellow nominees. This is a beautiful moment and I'm not crying for winning an award. It's not about winning an award for me. It's about being able to shine a light on all of the people. Tim and Trevor and Zach and Sanier and Demi and Anjanou and the entire cast and crew of King Richard, Venus and Serena, the entire Williams family. Art imitates life. I look like the crazy father, just like they said about Richard Williams." After the slap, Smith's publicist, along with actors Denzel Washington and Tyler Perry, tried to calm him down and console him. In his acceptance speech, Smith relayed advice Washington gave him, "At your highest moment, be careful, that's when the devil comes for you." Previous article: Roxy Music celebrate 50th anniversary with North American, UK tour with St. Vincent. Read more. Leave a reply.
So there you have it. You heard the apology. What do you guys think? Is it sincere? Is it damage control? Did someone speak to him and he figured he got to say something? Did he ever go back to Chris Rock? Did he reach out to Chris Rock? Is there what's going on in your head, Will? What's going on in that head of yours? I thought maybe you were in Men in Black too. You know, you see how Chris Rock just go, whoa. I was like, what? Well, we're humans and sometimes our emotions get the best of us. But we have to try and hold to our anger. We have to try and disassociate ourselves from the moment so that we don't act irrational. I know it's hard sometimes. I know, because it happens to the best of us. We act before we think. We act before we process what really happened. And then we're sorry after, because the aftermath is worse than the event. What's going to happen to his career? Do you think anything is going to change? Do you think he's going to lose respect? Imagine all the other people who won something. Will it tamper on their win, on their moment, celebrating? Because what are you going to talk about this Oscar 2022? Oh, it's the time when Will slapped Chris. No, it's the time when Will box Chris. I wonder how Chris is feeling right now. It was just comedy. Yes, I understand that Jada had an issue, or she had a alopecia allegedly, and she shaved her head. But for Will to react that way, that's what comedians do. Comedians, probably Jada is off limits, according to Will. Don't talk about his wife. Don't talk about his wife like that. I couldn't put myself in her shoe. I would have been upset, probably embarrassed. I don't know. But I could not put myself in their shoe. I can only imagine what I would do. And knowing me, I wouldn't go up there and do anything. I would speak to the person one-on-one and say, what you did was wrong. I didn't like it. Please don't do it again. Something of that sort. But to resort to violence to accomplish something, what are you trying to portray? What are you trying to show? That, oh, I'm the big man, I'm defending my wife. I don't think Jada could defend herself. Jada could defend herself. Jada could speak up. She's very vocal. And I'm sure she would have should have talked to Chris. But no, here comes Men in Black. Here comes Will, the Avenger, the Galaxy, or what did she say? I forget. But my, that's the box of the century. No boxer over there in the World Federation of Boxing, whatever. They don't box like that. Not in Taekwondo or in dojo or whatever those other karate shows or karate genre. They don't give them kind of box because Chris wasn't expecting it. He just stood there with his hand at his side. He couldn't even defend himself like, no, or something like that. No, he just stood there because he wasn't expecting Will to react that way. I was thinking he was just going to go up to Will and speak to Will about what Will said, what Chris said. Not hit the man. Come on, the world is watching you, Will. And all you did was you didn't even say anything to the man. You just walk up to him and pow. One big box. Me feel it for you, Chris. Me feel it. Me have to hold up my face and say, no, sir. Why, Will? You have so much admiration. People out there so much respect you so much. You have so much fans out there who look up to you. And for you to resort to violence because of something someone says, imagine if you were at a party. Imagine if you were at a different venue, a different environment. What else would you have done? Maybe you wouldn't have just boxed him, you'd have done more. Not acceptable. I totally disagree with the way you reacted. Irrational. And I don't know what it is you're going through, because you're saying you're working on yourself. Maybe some anger issue, some low self-esteem. I have no idea. Or maybe do you think you're better than others? You think you're high and mighty and you're above all, so you can do what you want to do? No, Will. We are all held accountable for our actions. And our actions can build us and our actions can break us down. A lot of people has gone out there and do stupid nonsense and they regret it. Because when the public slash back, when the public turn their back, we all feel it. Because they're the ones who put you up there. They're the ones that go watch the movies. They're the ones that play the songs. They're the ones that root for you. They're the followers. They're your admirers. They're your sounding bites. And for you to go out there and portray yourself that way, to stoop to a level so low as to put your hands on someone. He's a comedian, for God's sake. Just laugh it off. Laugh it off. And just move on to the next act. You just tarnish the others who were there for a good time. You tarnish the experience for them. And then you come out with an apology because you feel bad. How do you think Chris feels? What happened? Jada went and tell you, Chris, Jada said to you, oh, Will, you shouldn't have done that, you know. Now you apologize to everyone. Something that you could have avoided in the beginning by not stepping your foot on that stage. Not a foot should have gone on that stage. You can stay down where you are and heckle because people do that in comedian shows, you know, in those stand-up comedy. You can heckle. Don't speak to my wife. Don't talk to my wife like that. You can voice your opinion, but to put your hands on someone, what are you teaching the young people out there, the young kids that look up to you, that love you, that watches you, that adores your movies? Oh, Will does it, so I can do it too. No. When you're in the public eyes, when you are a public figure, you are expected to act with respect for yourself and respect to others, so that the ones who are watching you and who are emulating you will become better persons. There are people out there said, oh, because Will so-and-so, you know, I changed my way, or because Will, you know, as a black man, you set that example for the black kids or young men who are coming up after you. They see you out there doing these movies, doing your best, funny. They like what they see. But then you just go and just tarnish the whole thing. Remember, you know, one thing spoils the whole good stuff. People don't remember the good you do. They remember the bad. They remember the bad. Because if you say something and then, oh, you remember Will so-and-so? Oh, yeah. I remember the time when he boxed Chris. You don't want to be remembered like that. You want them to remember the good stuff, all your legacy, everything that you've done to make the world a better place. Not the one slap, not the box where you box Chris. Come on, Will. What gotten into you? What Denzel said, at your highest is when the devil steps in. Fight the devil. Fight him. Tell him you're not going to win. Make sure your apology was sincere. You need to speak to Chris. You need to talk to Chris and make Chris know, say, I'm really, really sorry. I'm begging for him to forgive you. Tell him you don't know what getting to you. Tell him that. One for the road. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Because I'm stumped. I don't know what to say. I give you my thoughts on this. And just, Will Smith, you got to do better, man. You got to do better. Anyway, guys, Rowena Explorez on another excursion on this new trending topic about Will Smith and the box when box Chris. Yeah. So, see ya. Bye, guys. You lie. guy box him. Oh, Jesus, Will, why would you do that?